Hi there everyone, and back with another video, and in this video we will be learning yet another important concept in JavaScript. It's an arrow function. Before we get started, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and also hit that bell button so that you will be notified whenever I come up with a new video. So with that being said, let's work around with arrow function. So now guys, what you mean by an arrow function? It is also a kind of a functions that we have in JavaScript. It is of course a function. So it is way better than the function, and it is also better than function expression. It's not just better than functions and function expression, it is powerful than them, and it is also very easier to have an arrow function rather than function expression. So function expressions and arrow functions are two different things, but arrow function is way better than any one of them, right? So this is all about arrow functions. So in arrow functions, again we have two kinds of arrow functions, and the first kind is single line arrow functions, and the second one is multi-line arrow function. So these are the two things again we have inside arrow function. So with that being said, let's jump in and let's see how an arrow function works in JavaScript. So first I will declare function expression just like this. So fun is a variable and I will declare a function inside that. So this is a function expression that we have already studied that. And guys, again, I just want to before diving deep into this, again I just want to have a quick note, because if you want to understand about arrow functions, of course you need to understand about function expressions before, because function expression is has got a lot to do with arrow functions, because without function expressions you can't understand, and it is very difficult to understand arrow function. So again we have also covered this topic, and the link will be in the description below. Make sure that you learn first what is function expression. So this is what we call it as a function expression in JavaScript. So now guys, I will just do something called as, yet of course guys, we have not yet dive into arrow function. I'm just explaining you about function expression, and on the top of that we will learn about arrow function. So now what I'm gonna do here is I will just return hi over here, right? So that's it. So this is a complete function expression. So now what I'm gonna do here is, if I want to execute this thing, I will have that in a console.log. Let me check what will be the output of this thing, right? So I have done what, I'm executing this function with the help of that variable name. So if I just refresh, boom, we got the thing, right? So this is already learned thing that we have already know that. So now this is what it is, a function expression. So in order to convert from function expression to an arrow function, what we need to do is just remove this entire thing, yeah, the entire thing, and even remove the function keyword itself, right? We don't need any function keyword anymore. So now what we need to do here is, it's very simple. The only thing that you need to understand here is this brackets and this arrow, that's it. So now again guys, even we don't need an return statement as well, so remove this off. So now guys, this is what we call it as arrow functions. Boom guys, did you notice here? Even there is no function keyword, there is no function name, and there is no return keyword, and there is nothing else. But this is a function. It's an arrow function. So now what will be the output? If I refresh and save this, refresh the page. Boom guys, did you notice here? The output remains the same. So this is what we call it as arrow functions. Did you notice guys how simple it is, and how easy it is, and how powerful it is? There is nothing in here but just this brackets and then arrow and then the value that should be returned to this variable, and boom, this is what we call it as arrow function. So now let me dive deep into this arrow function. Again guys, this is what we call it as single line arrow function, because we have a single line over here, right? So we are yet to cover with multi-line arrow function. So now I can also pass parameter to this function. Of course it is a function, so I can and I may pass parameters. So let us pass some parameters like 1, or yeah, I'll just pass 2. So of course we need to do what? We need to receive that parameter, right? So the parameter variable, let me say a. So this is a variable, a parameter variable. So now what I'm gonna do here is I will just have a square of that, right? So this is a square operator that we have in JavaScript. So if I just have a 2, it is a square of whatever that we have sent to this function as a parameter, right? So if I save this file and refresh the browser, boom, we got the square of 2. So this is also can be done. We can, I'm explaining you guys about a parameter to arrow function. Of course we can also send another parameter like 3, and of course we need to receive that over here, and let me give it as a, and I will just do something called as a multiplied by b. So now what will be the output? It's 6, right? So 2 into 3 is 6. So of course guys, I'm explaining you about parameters in arrow function. So the craziest part is, if I want to send just one parameter, like let me go back to the same thing, and I will just say 2 raised to 2. Yeah, it's 2 raised to 2. And the craziest part is, yeah, this is what we have done in a moment ago. And now the again guys, the craziest part is, if I have one parameter to an arrow functions, we don't need even a brackets for that function. Boom, that's it. So if save this file, refresh the browser, boom guys, we still get 4 as an output. Guys, did you notice here? We don't have anything here in this one single line statement. It is just like an, a variable and an arrow, and we are doing some kind of multiplication over here, and that's it. So this is the power of arrow function. We don't have any function keyword, return keyword, and we don't have even a bracket. It's all removed, and boom, that's what it is. So powerful, so simple, and so easier to remember. So this is what we call it as a single line arrow functions, right? So now guys, let me begin with an multi-line arrow functions. Like, so if we want to do some kind of a multiple processing inside this function, inside this arrow function, don't forget that it is an arrow function. So if I have some kind of a logic that has got multiple lines, so now how to do that? So instead of doing this, we need to have a brackets for that. That's it. So in this brackets, I can again declare a variable called as b and initialize it to 10, and I have a console over here, again over here, and then let me say, I'll just say inside. So after this, I'll just return what? A into b. That's it. So now what will be the output? So if I just pass 2 to this function, so what will be the output, guys? Let me check that and save this file, refresh the browser, boom, you got that, right? So first it will pass 2 to this function, and it will declare a variable, and it will print inside to the console, and we got that here, and it will return what? 2 into 10, 20, right? So at the last we got 20 printed in this console over here, right, in the line number 20. Boom guys, this is what we call it as multi-line arrow function. So this is a multi-line arrow function with sending one parameter. That's it. So yes guys, this is all about it, and this is all about arrow functions, and this is all about single line arrow functions and multi-line arrow function that we have in JavaScript. It's so powerful, so simple, so easy to understand, and it is way simpler than any one of the things that we have in JavaScript. Yes guys, I hope that this video was very helpful for you. Don't forget to like this video and share this video and comment and subscribe to my channel, and let me see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.